up, YouTube? It's your boy G YouTube back again with another video for you. And without any further ado, let's jump right into this video, man, because the Knicks have pulled off a pretty damn good trade. I'll damn near even say great trade in getting Cam Reddish from the Atlanta Hawks. So the Atlanta Hawks have traded Cam Reddish, Solomon Hill, and a 2025 second round pick from Brooklyn to the New York Knicks for Kevin Knox and this year's first round pick from the Charlotte Hornets. So I think this is a pretty good trade, man. Cam Reddish, he's young, he's got a lot of upside. He can, be part of this young core in the future. He's obviously looking to, get somewhat of a nice contract extension. Someone around his range, averaging 11 points, getting, 3.5 boards, and is still young like that. They're probably going to look for somewhere around 10 to 12 million or something like that. And I think the Knicks might be willing to do that, seeing how he gels with the team for the rest of this season. That being said, he is a little bit of an inefficient shooter, although this year he is definitely having his best year in the NBA by far in terms of shooting splits, shooting 38% from the field, which is above league average, and 40% from the field. Or I meant 38% from three, whatever. But it's still pretty good. 90% from the free throw line. Like, he's having his best season yet, and that's just great, especially on, like, what is it? He's averaging only like 23 minutes a game, something like that. I think, yeah, 23.4 minutes a game. And he's got a lot of potential on the defensive side. He's got tools to be a great defender. He may not be there just yet right now, but he's got the tools, man. And I think that what they're thinking is that he can probably either play a bench role or potentially become a starter, depending on what they want to do with Evan Fournier going forward. But that is a different conversation, and let's not go dive into that. I think this is a great trade, even though they traded around that first round pick. What the Knicks usually do is try to get players like Cam Reddish with that first round pick. So, trading for a short thing is probably the better thing right now, and especially giving up Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox hasn't really done much in the time that he's been with the Knicks, and it's probably just time for a fresh start for him. Maybe he'll get something going with Atlanta in a new environment, a new situation, different locker room. Might be good for him, but he obviously wasn't working out with the Knicks, and all Knicks fans know that. So I think all Knicks fans are very happy with this trade. And, especially, I just want to say, like, when he played in the playoffs, he only played 4 games in the playoffs against the Knicks. No, not the Knicks, the Bucks. And he played very well, and he showed that he can play well in prime time. And I think that's a very key reason probably as to why the Knicks were looking to trade for him, because let me get you his numbers from the playoffs. So in 4 games last season against the Bucks in that series, he played 23 minutes a game and averaged 13 points, 52% from the field, damn near 53, 64% from 3, and he averaged 3.5 boards, 1 assist, 2 assists, and a steal and a half a block. Those are pretty damn good numbers, man, especially for a role player. And he's got room to grow, obviously, to maybe even become a cemented starter alongside RJ Barrett, depending on how Evan Fournier, what they want to do with him, because I'm not sure he's in part of the long-term plans with him, and I will talk about that later on. But in a different video. But this is a really solid trade for the Knicks overall. Now, he's obviously going to have to compete for some minutes, being that the Knicks do have a lot of guards that play 2 to 3 guards at a time on the floor alongside RJ Barrett and either Mitchell Robinson and Obi Toppin, Nerlens Noel, all these bigger players. They probably play like 2 of them at a time. And then you have Evan Fournier, Alec Burks, Emmanuel Quickley, Derrick Rose, Kemba Walker, Quentin Grimes, Miles McBride. That's a lot of players, and obviously we haven't seen Quentin Grimes and Miles McBride play too much already, and Derrick Rose is injured now, so it's probably going to be easier for Cam Reddish to slide into a significant rotational role for them at the moment. But when everybody is healthy, that is a more tricky situation in terms of giving everybody minutes and trying to see people, because I know a lot of people like Quentin Grimes and McBride. I think Quentin Grimes probably does deserve a little bit more minutes, but it's just so clogged up in there. I just wonder what Tibbs is gonna do with that situation now, because Kevin Knox, who they traded away, wasn't really in the rotation anyway. He was barely playing any minutes. Like, I think this dude is probably averaging like 5 minutes a game, if that. He's averaging 8.5 minutes a game this season, so he's not really playing a significant role. So those minutes are probably gonna go to Cam Reddish and probably take away from somebody else's minutes. But yeah, man, I really do like this trade. Obviously, I think he's either going to be part of the future for the Knicks or part of a solid trade package for a star. And I think that's probably what the Knicks are aiming to do by acquiring all these young assets, to try to trade for a star and get them out of a situation. So the likes of Damian Lillard come up, you know, maybe even a Karl Anthony Towns, someone like that. And I think they're just trying to get the pieces to do that. And I don't blame them, man. If they think that they can really make a push in the next 2 to 3 years, which is my timeline for the Knicks. I'm not really too concerned about where they are right now at this very exact moment, because they're sitting at, I don't know, 11th in the East. Yeah, they're 11th in the East right now sitting at 500, 21 and 21. And even with that, they're only 3 games behind the 5th seed 76ers. So there's not a very big gap in the East between the 5th seed, the 11th seed. Not very big. And if you want to look at the other teams, they're only a game behind the Raptors, Wizards, Celtics, and 2 behind Charlotte. So it's not a huge gap there with all the 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 5 seeds. So I'm not really too concerned right now. And around this time last season, the Knicks had a very similar record, and they started putting things together again in the second half of the season. And honestly, the Knicks have shown me no reason to believe that they won't do the same thing again this season, especially because of at the turn of the new year, the Knicks have been playing pretty good basketball, if I do say so myself. So basically, to start off the new year, I think they're 4-2. Something like that, yeah. 4-2. Yeah, I was right. They're playing pretty good basketball to start off the new year, and I hope they continue to play good basketball, especially considering that they have a fairly weak next few games against the Hornets, Timberwolves, Pelicans, Clippers. Now, not in the Hawks, but not that they're scrubs, but this is like competitive basketball. They're not top tier teams in the league. Even the Cavaliers, as great as they've been this season, they're not ready to compete right now, or they might be ready to make some type of run. But this right here, then they play the Kings right after, and then they have a pretty tough schedule after that. So they have to make the most out of pretty much all of January. I don't have any reason to believe that they can't, continue this streak of how they've been playing at the turn of the new year and turn that into competitive basketball against the very best teams, where they have in February, they got to play Golden State, Brooklyn, the Heat, the Lakers. Even though the Lakers haven't been that great, the Grizzlies, the Bucks, the Heat again. So they don't really have the easiest schedule. I mean, they get to play OKC in the middle of that, but they got a pretty tough schedule in February. So they got to make the most of the rest of January and use that momentum to play into February. So I'm excited to see how they're gonna use Cam Reddish in the rotation. Solomon Hill's probably not gonna play. He's probably gonna get waived. In all honesty, so we'll see, man. I like where the Knicks are going right now. I like it. Bing bong. I'm out.